Welcome to the Ancient Mirthology podcast. This is a podcast where every week we look at a different myth from somewhere around the world and assess it, analyse it, to see what the real meanings are and whether it has any meaning in contemporary society. I am joined by my host, George.
Good afternoon.
George is currently eating grapes. George is currently eating grapes and cracking his knuckles. This week, we're going to sort of try and establish a format, and the format is going to be that we will announce the myth prior to recording in the future, so we can get ideas from different people. But right now, we've decided to start with the myth of Pandora's box. So we will begin. So George, in ancient Greece, there were two brothers, much like us, named Epimetheus and Prometheus. I believe Prometheus is the more famous of the two, having had a movie about him recently. They really annoyed the gods one time, which, in my experience, is not a good thing to do. And the most powerful god was Zeus. We all know about Zeus, top of Mount Olympus.
Good guy to fuck with.
Yeah. The worst guy to fuck with out of all the gods. This is not the first time Zeus has been upset by mere mortals. He had actually, in the past, been sort of fucked with a bit by the mortals, and he'd taken fire from them. So he went like full King Louis, but actually had the power to act it out. He was like, I've given you fire and you can't be trusted with it, I'm taking it back.
Just like that.
Just like that. I don't know how they adapted to it. I guess I hope they had like salmonella charts like you'd find in all good kitchens now as to how to cook meat now that you no longer have heat. I imagine they all had a sort of raw foodist style approach to eating from then on.
It's kind of like giving someone trying to give someone a shitty present, but all of a sudden being like, oh, actually, that is quite a good present. I kind of want that back now.
I originally didn't really care about the level of investment in this present, but now I can see that you're really enjoying it and actually making use of it. I'm gonna take it back.
That looks like I bought that with my money.
Yeah, we're already I value that gift more than our friendship, so that's mine now. So Prometheus was clever. He was an intelligent fellow, probably why he had that big movie deal. Good agent, obviously, and he knew that on the Isle of Lemnos there was this person called Hephaestus. Any academic listeners are probably going to crucify me, but I've got several learning difficulties, so go fuck yourself. Who was a blacksmith. He had a fire that was always burning because it kept his forge hot. So Prometheus decided to take a little day trip over there to Lemnos. Much like the stag do's of today, and stole the fire rather than stealing the dignity of the people of the island, which I believe is what British people do now. He stole the fire from the blacksmith. Zeus was furious and decided that the humans, they tried to take back the gift that he had taken away from them in the first place. He said, "Man, I'm going to punish them because they're not getting it." So basically, he came up with this really cunning plan to mess with, in particular, the two brothers. Now, this is where, if you were Epimetheus, you've got to be like, I'm just getting caught up in some family bullshit because I had nothing to do with the fire first.
So only one of them went to the island to go and steal the fire?
Yeah, just Prometheus, yeah.
They're both being like, he's going to no, I'm going to fuck with both of you.
Yeah, he's like, you both fucked.
God of gods,
yeah,
I'm going to have some fun.
He's going burnt ground, yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, not good. So Zeus, came up with this plan, and with the help of Hephaestus, Mr. Mistopheles, I don't know what that says. I think it says Hephaestus, but it could just be a disease. But anyway, so the blacksmith that was more than happy to give the fire to Prometheus has now gone, oh yeah, don't worry about it, Zeus. We go way back, man. You're my boy, so I'll help you. So together they created a woman from clay.
Blacksmith.
The blacksmith, yeah. You'd think he would go to a potter. Yeah. But, so anyway, they made it.
Hit this with a hammer.
Just get as much fire as you can.
Is it real hot? Is it real hot in there?
Okay, Zeus, if you want me to do this for you, I'm going to need some metal and some heat. No, you really haven't read the blueprints. I want this to be made of like a soft, moldable rock stuff. Okay, well...
Soft to touch? Ooh, I already do that.
I'm more of a clang and bang kind of guy. Whatever. I'd give it a go. So anyway, the goddess Athene then got this lump of clay and breathed life into it. And Aphrodite then gave her a bit of beauty. So this is a big project from all the gods. It's kind of like Dr. Dre's album Detox, where they had like loads of big rappers all came in on the project together. It's kind of like that.
Real collaboration.
Yeah, so it should really be like Prometheus inspired, but like feat Zeus. It should be, yeah, Death Row Records. So Zeus came up with, no, it'd probably be played on Olympus. Yeah, there you go. So they came up with this woman, and Zeus called her Pandora. Now, is that ringing any bells for you, Pandora?
Yeah. I mean, I imagine she's gonna have a box, which is where the blacksmith could actually come in.
Yeah, he could have made a nice little metal box there.
But imagine if he wants someone to make a useful box, he's gonna go and ask, I don't know, maybe. Oh, he's gonna, because he likes to change people's hobbies a bit.
He'd probably ask Poseidon.
Yeah.
Because that's not something he would normally traditionally do.
Yeah.
He really is good at challenging his employees and making sure that they, he's actually quite good at thinking outside of the box. I don't think he's going to be someone that's very good with their hands, a bit like a blacksmith, woman. So, yeah, it's very similar to a blacksmith trying to create a person, which is bizarre.
Let's just fuck with these people too.
So anyway, this beautiful, sensual, charming, and deceitful, she was taught to be deceitful by Hermes, woman is sent as a gift to Epimetheus. And again, I don't know why he's putting all this shit on Epimetheus, because he was the one that took the fire. That was very much his brother. But anyway, it's just sort of, it's a curse. I guess it's a family curse. So Prometheus had said to him, I'm going to give you a heads up, bro. I stole some fire. I gave it to the humans. Zeus is not that stoked about it. So if he tries to give you any gifts, don't take them. But Epimetheus was just so charmed by this gorgeous woman. And he thought that she was so beautiful that there's no way she could. She's not going to cause any problems. Look how beautiful she is. And if there's one thing we know about beautiful women, it's they never cause problems.
No.
They never
really
get anyone into
easy.
trouble. I think it was Bill Clinton that actually said that they never caused any trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've never led to the fall of any empires, or
they do like to cherish like possessions though, especially like things that involve the two of you, like maybe a locket or a dress.
Yeah, and the thing that really goes well is when you just sort of take them and you don't let them do what they want to do anymore. You just kind of go like, you're beautiful, but like you're a possession of mine now. They really, really like that.
Because I bought all those diamonds. So.
Yes, because that's the fair exchange. Like, your dreams are over, I gave you some shiny rocks. Yeah.
Your dreams, this is your dream, there your dreams are, I gave them to you, you're mine.
yes, you're mine now. That's final. So Zeus is, he's working this plan, he's pretty happy about it. And he's just like, oh no, it's all good. I forgive you guys. I'm so happy that you two are in love. I'm going to give you this wedding gift. I'm going to give you this gorgeous handmade box. But there's one very important condition for this box. Don't ever open it.
Okay.
Yeah, which is it's not good.
So
you don't want to be hearing that.
Let's just track back a bit. So to fuck with these guys, he's made a fake woman with a blacksmith who's just like, well, the god asked me to do it, so I guess I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
He then made them fall in love.
It's a little out of my warehouse, but I'll have a crack at the genetics.
Yeah. He then made them fall in love.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, but is she tricking him the whole time, or are they actually?
No, I don't think she knows. I think she's in love. I think she's just like almost like she's the messenger. She's not in on the.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, but they've given her like nothing real, like nothing to work with those. Like a personality, or
yeah, I think she has a personality. I think she's just all round lovely. She's just great. Yeah.
But she's there to fuck everything up.
Yeah, but I don't think she knows that. She's unaware.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then chuck a bit of a box in there as well.
Yeah, then they throw that in the equation as well.
Because you don't want to give a pretty girl a jewellery box and tell her not to open it.
No, that's the last thing you want to do. I imagine that's akin to giving Tony Hawk a skateboard and saying, "You can never ride this, Tony. Tony, you see that loop-shaped ramp? Whatever you do, do not ride it.
Do not touch that.
Don't go vertical, Tony. Whatever you do."
But all these stages coming together, you know, when they meet, Zeus is sitting there going, "Here we go."
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
Zeus is like
buy some flowers.
Zeus is like
buy some flowers.
Zeus is like Cilla Black. He's really just sort of the architect of this relationship from the very beginning. So anyway, all she can think about when she finds out about this, she's obviously very curious. She's intelligent. She wants to know, what's in that box. It's similar to the plot of The Transporter, starring Jason Statham, because he has to transport something, and he's never ever been curious about what he has to transport in the past, but then suddenly he's like, it's banging around in my boot, I'm going to go and have a look at that, and then his life is over.
Is that the film where he played like a strong white guy?
Yeah, he really was in a different role there. Yeah, he did. He wore a suit, and he was like English. I think he did an English accent.
He
surprised he wasn't Oscar nominated, to be honest.
Probably karate chopped someone.
Yeah, he really pushed the boundaries on his acting career there. He's
some push-ups as well.
Incredibly diverse artist. Might have even been a training montage in there. Who knows? So she couldn't understand. Why would someone fuck with me like that? Why would they give me this box I cannot open? It's just she's getting to her. She's just getting furious, and she's scratching at her teeth, probably like some sort of junkie, because she wants to know what's in the box. So anyway,
there's gonna be keys to a car. I know it.
Oh, this you shouldn't have. It's my super sweet 16. Actually, what's creepy is I guess she's only like 0 or 1 technically, because he's made her. I don't think she grew as a child. I think she was just a woman immediately.
And how did they get like the perfect woman? Was this like?
I'm assuming they did a survey of all the
like,
people and said, yeah.
It was like, hey, you're blacksmith, make a 5'10".
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I don't know if he gave her like a box of dimensions, like it's a car that this guy's manufacturing.
It's like a Lego box.
Yeah, yeah. Just do whatever you can. So finally, she finally gets to the point where she's just like, I can't. I've got to open this box. She knows that Prometheus is going to be like, no, don't do it. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a real Adam and Eve vibe here. Seems like there's a long history of the man being like, don't do it. And the woman being like, well, I want to know what's in there. I want to taste the fruits. So anyway, she waits till Prometheus is out of sight. She gets the key off the shelf. Right. See, that's the first, that's the first issue.
Right. How do we get to this box? Oh, you need a key. Okay, well, I'm gonna carry that with me.
Yeah, maybe
that's it.
Maybe go to like the deepest, darkest hole you can find and bury it in there. Maybe don't keep it on the shelf.
The ocean. Let's go and chuck it in the ocean. It's
just awful. So she fits it carefully into the lock, and she turns it. Now, as the story goes, she feels this sudden pang of guilt, and she just thinks, "Oh, he's gonna be so angry." And she quickly locked the box again, and she never opened the lid, and she put the key back where she found it. She did that 3 more times. It actually sounds like a guy who's trying to get laid from a girl that won't give it up very easily, and he's like, "Come on, I just like if I just put it in, I won't move around. Like it will be really fun."
I think it's kind of like someone in a real low spot, walking into their flat and just finding crack. Right? It's not theirs, but they're like, "No, I shouldn't touch that. That is not the thing to do."
I've been told many times by people in charge, don't have that crack.
I guess they just light this end oh, that's weird. Okay, I'll put that back.
Yeah, it's like
I guess I could do a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, who was that presidential candidate? He said he never inhaled. I don't know who it was. He was like, "Oh, I smoked weed, but I never inhaled." It's that thing. It's like, okay, of course.
Oh yeah. That makes a big difference.
Yeah. So finally, she goes, I've got to finish the job here. I guess she's thinking she's doing a lot of masturbating and not a lot of coming at this point, and she's thinking, I need to just finish the job. So she takes the key, she slides into the lock, she turns it, she takes a deep breath, she closes her eyes, and she opens it. And she looks into the box, expecting to see, furry handcuffs, maybe something a little bit kinky from the wedding night. Zeus likes to get down, so this is pretty kinky like that, so you never know what you're getting from Uncle Zeus. But obviously he's a man scorned, and she's, there's not money in there. There's nothing in there. No bling, no shiny, lovely thing. No car keys. No. Sort of lovely smelling oils or lubricants.
The mouthpiece for a new horse.
There was nothing in there, because what had happened was Zeus had packed the box with just the most horrible things that he could think of. And out of the box comes, firstly, disease. And then out slithers poverty. Yes, into the world. So I'm assuming to this point there hadn't been any of these things.
I mean, he's really, for someone he's created through this blacksmith, he's really fucking up her life as well.
Oh,
just
yeah.
To get back at,
just
to get back at the wrong brother? Is that
that's
right?
That's
just getting back at the wrong brother?
Yes, and that's that is an issue. And what is also an issue is if he now takes fire back, fire's pretty good against a lot of diseases. So he might want to let them have that. And if poverty came out of the box next. You need warmth, man. You need to be able to cook food. If you're really poor.
Yeah, fire's
back in the day, you got to keep wild animals away from you. Without fire,
fire's good for a lot of things. Fire's good for a lot of things. So that blacksmith was actually a bit of a dick for keeping it.
Yeah, sure.
If no one else had it, but he had it, he's a dick.
He really turned his back on Prometheus.
Also just like everyone. If he's the only guy with fire, but he's just like, nah, I need this for work.
So next out of the box.
Sorry about your problems.
Next out of the box comes misery, death, which is, let's not get into that because I guess there's just everyone in the world is just really old at this point because there was no death, and sadness. I feel like they didn't really necessarily need to bring sadness out of the box because I think that was already that would have been created by the environment of everything else that's come before.
Unless you're like, this is death.
I think the humans had enough inspiration for sadness with the disease and the poverty and the misery that all came out, and death, for instance.
That's amazing. But what I want to know is, obviously, if death wasn't there before, there were really young kids as well, but just being born. But there's also going to be people that are like 15th generation already, right? Are they just going to die immediately? Are they just going to be like, oh, actually, no, there
I
is
knew this day was coming!
There is the expiry date, and you passed it.
Maureen! You know that thing I told you about in the yard? Go and dig it up! Death's coming for us, Maureen!
Is it just like, oh, actually, yeah, death does exist, and you were supposed to die in that horse accident a couple of years ago, so you're not alive anymore, but now there's your son, because he shouldn't be alive.
I imagine it would have been dealt with like how the modern banking systems deal with things. I imagine it would have just been a sudden, like, fuck you. Like, we're cashing in all the chips. You ask for paperless statements, but you're still going to get your bills only in paper form, and they're going to pile up under your door until you can't get out of your house and you die.
There's a deficit here, and you are going to pay for it.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Prometheus, your brother ran up a lot of credit card debts, but because this is about fucking you, we're going to give all of those to you. So Prometheus is going to get away scot-free from those. But actually Prometheus does not get away scot-free, and I'll tell you about that later, because it's really bad. Okay. So all these things that come out of the box, I should say, they're basically like wasps or some sort of moth. It differs from story to story, but they're some sort of horrible buzzing, crawling, scuttling shit thing. So these things sting Pandora all over her, and she slams the lid shut. She starts crying in pain, and Epimetheus runs into the room and sees her, and he must just say, what's happened? Because she's closed the lid, he's not running in immediately seeing what the issue is. But she's just lying on the floor going, oh God, and she's gripping her hands to her head. She can't deal with all this screaming noise she can hear, and then she starts to hear this voice, and it's coming from the box, and it's saying, you need to open it. You really need to open it. I guess at this point she's told Epimetheus, look, I really fucked up, and he was probably just like, well, I mean, I'm to blame in this as well. I probably shouldn't have left that key on the shelf. It was quite tempting, but you
should have put that box in a safe.
Yeah, maybe don't display it.
Yeah,
because then, I mean, a guest could come in and just open it one time.
Just re-gift it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Just say, oh yeah, sorry Zeus. Nah, yeah, the box is great. The box is really good. We
Then-
didn't take it to the mountains and bury it.
Then you end up with like a Chucky-style curse. Yeah, you need to destroy it properly, like throw it in some oil or something. Because otherwise it just gets passed on, and then a kid walks into a toy shop and goes, "Oh, what's this doll?" It's that sort of thing.
Jumanji all over again.
Yeah. Jumanji, yeah. Or Zathura, God knows. That's even worse than Jumanji because it's like a terrible remake with aliens. So Epimetheus agrees that nothing inside the box could be worse than all the other things that have already come out. And he basically decides to... he agrees. He just goes, look, if it's really calling you and it won't leave you alone, just open the box. So... I'm assuming key's still on the lock. Turns it, pops that bad boy open.
This is the guy doing it.
I mean, I hope so at this point.
So
no, I think they're both doing it together. I imagine that her small perfect hand is on the key and his manly rugged hand is around it, and they're turning it together.
I know. I'm thinking like she is still screaming on the floor, being like, "Oh, I just fucked up." So
let it out. Yeah, and he's going, "Okay,
he's just been like,
my darling, what can I do? Anything for you, my love."
What am I doing? And he's gonna go open the box and be like, "I hope that doesn't happen to me."
See, what's happened to Epimetheus here is pretty similar to what happens to like a lot of people on Tinder. Like, it looks really good at first, but it's just a long history of crazy.
Yeah,
it's not good. Anyway, we won't get into that. They open it, and out flies this beautiful. Some people say it's a dove, which makes sense. It's quite a biblical reference as well. But she. It could have been a dragonfly, anything like that.
Well,
but anyway, this thing that flies out represents hope.
But I want to know that if it's like a dove or a bird and it's been in a box for probably quite a long time
With a load of those horrible
like
wasps.
moths and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure that dove is going to eat those things.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe ate even worse things that we've never found out about, and thank God.
Yeah. Well, what if it also, like, you know, what if they could have had like the wheel a lot sooner, or what if they ate some of the good stuff as well?
Well, that's the problem. It may well have. Who knows how hungry this dove was?
Yeah.
I don't know how long it had been in there for. It seemed like it didn't take that long for her to be convinced to open the box, so it probably was fine.
No.
Yeah, they go to open the box and the dove just can't come out because it's so fat. It's just wedged to the edges.
Is there any kind of like timeline on these?
Bang! Cool! Oh, we can't coo anymore, it's so fat. It's not fat, you can't say that, you might trigger it. You can't say it's fat.
Fucking guys, Zeus gave it to us, it's probably loaded with something.
Yeah, no, don't let that dove out. It's probably gonna, like, baby bird feed you with, like, even more horrible things.
Oh, fuck, it just spewed cancer on my shoe.
Oh, God. Oh, no, look at that, there's a tumour on my loafers. How dare that dove do that? Right, so, Hope flies out, and I guess it's sort of this, like, it's this idea of, even with all the pain and suffering you've got in the world, there's this hope left. And I think it's interesting that they leave that at the end of the story, because I guess that's really another fuck you from Zeus, because he's saying, I've ruined this and I've made the world really difficult for a lot of you people to live in, but you better keep praying to me, because I know about hope.
But again,
and without that, that's all you have.
But again, like, so he's Zeus is really fucked with the woman a lot more than she has, the guy. So she opens the box and she gets stung and shit. The guy that gets getting punished, opens the box and finds hope.
Yeah.
Surely it should be the other way around. That the story goes that you fuck over the guy that, I mean, at least he's connected to the guy, the baddie.
Well, that's actually a good point, because we need to find out what has happened to Prometheus. So, what happens to Prometheus is really bad. So basically, Zeus is furious with him.
So this is like a warm-up?
Yeah, kind of. So Zeus is just so angry that he goes, right, I'm going to chain you to a cliff, and you're going to be on this big jagged cliff, and the waves are going to be crashing on you, and you're going to be there for the rest of eternity. And as if that's not bad enough, every day a seagull comes and it eats his liver.
Seagull?
Every day a seagull comes and it eats his liver. And then the next day the liver regenerates like Wolverine and he goes back. Hugh Jackman, actually, I can see really doing well on that role.
So
title clip.
Zeus gets death. Like, death calls out of the box in Pandora's world, right? But he's like...
Prometheus is wishing death would crawl out towards him, right?
Everyone can now die, except for this guy.
Every day Prometheus wakes up and he's like, oh, where am I? And then he hears, ah, 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 and he goes, no, no, no.
Maybe it's not the seagull. Maybe it's the dove from the box.
Oh, it might be. Yeah, it's got a taste now.
Yeah.
I mean,
every single day, it gives him hope, and he lives, and then he dies.
And then he dies
That's what
again.
hope is.
Yeah, every day he gets a new start. It's like
a seagull, it was
a
just...
really, really horrible Groundhog Day.
Yeah. It wasn't a seagull, just no one can get close enough to him because of that stench.
Yeah, I mean...
It's a man who's died every day for the last 40 years.
I don't know if he was naked, Prometheus, or if he had, like, you know, something like a little robe or like a little loincloth on, because I'd like to think that the seagull at first would have just been casually passing by and gone, oh, that guy looks like he's in a pretty bad way. Well, I should do the right thing. And the seagull goes into his wallet to see his ID and goes, oh, well, I got this guy's driver's license, and it appears that he's an organ donor. So I'm going to eat his fucking liver now.
Oh, I could also do another fucking one because God created me.
Yeah.
Do you remember that happened with us as well? Jesus, he did whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Normally things that have been created directly by God are pretty untouchable.
This is true. So
I mean, he's the other guy that died again. He was like, oh, here I am.
So so Prometheus is changed to this cliff for the end of time, till the end of time, and it's just, yeah, it's kind of like I'm sure we'll cover Prometheus at a later date, but Sisyphus, I think his name, the guy that had to keep pushing the.
We all had to cover that.
yeah, before being treated for Sisyphus. But no, he's the one who had to keep rolling the big rock up and down the hill forever and ever. And
Okay.
Atlas obviously was the giant who had to hold up the sky on his shoulders. Yeah. So if there's anything to learn from this so far, and I'm sure the characters will only regress, but Zeus, don't fuck with him.
Also,
Zeus is like Suge Knight. I don't know if you've seen Straight Outta Compton, but don't fuck with Zeus and do not fuck with Suge Knight.
Also, if there's like a bad situation, send your girlfriend in first.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
If there's anything we learned, it's like she's gonna get real stung, and then you're gonna get the gift.
Yeah, but as we've seen, Prometheus. I don't know what happened to Prometheus. I guess he just had to. He just had to walk around being like, "You're the one that didn't put that fucking key in the ocean." I guess he had to deal with that stigma for the rest of his life for unleashing all that punishment on mankind.
Is she just rolling around on the floor with those big boils on her?
Well, I hope those things healed. But equally, I kind of hope they didn't, because I think if she was marked with something, if she was sort of made more ugly, then maybe she wouldn't, say they break up, maybe the next guy meets her and doesn't think, oh my god, she's so perfect, she can never do anything wrong. Maybe she's a bit more marked by something, by like a horrible past trauma that's visible in her. Maybe he'll go, she's seen some shit, like there might be some baggage attached to this one.
See, I think because she's been made out of metal, she'll be okay with the stings. Because after all, she was forged with a hammer and some tongs in a fiery pit. Oh wow! Well, that was a lot of fun, and thank you very much to everyone who made it this far, and who's tuned in for the first official ancient Mirthology podcast. That's a thank you from me, Max, and a thank you from George, who is just tucking into some grapes still. Still eating the grapes.
Really good. Alright, thanks guys.